Hello, welcome to Thoughtfully Thoughtful. My name is Rob. I have a wonderful, just a guest I'm swooning for. His name is CubPun on TikTok and I believe Twitter. I think that it is, but your Blue Sky's different, I believe.
Yeah, Blue Sky is at Chubby
Okay,
Hedonist.
yeah, I may have just hornily looked you up beforehand to be like, yeah, that's him. That's the one. That's the one I'm talking to. Which is very exciting for me. Is this partially my own vanity of like, I want a hot person on? Absolutely. But you're also really cool and a really great creator, and I want to know more about you. So I wanted to focus this week talking about TikTok. That seems to have your largest following base, and it also is one of the hardest places to break into. So I was really curious about like your process, how you do things, and just kind of getting a better idea of what you do. So I guess that comes down to the first question, which is more so what motivated you? Like, how did you get into this in the first place?
Sure. So, let's see. I've been posting every so often on, other social media websites like Instagram or Twitter or what have you, like throughout my early 20s and late 20s. Then pandemic hit, and like every other millennial my age, we downloaded TikTok because we were like, oh, they're talking about this in the news. The kids are into it. Let's check it out.
The kids love it. Let's see what's going on.
Exactly. And then the algorithm got me, man. Um, the one thing TikTok does really well is it feeds you the crap you want to see,
Oh yeah.
with
Oh
very
my
little
god.
interaction. So I was hooked. So I didn't post for a long time because like short form video was not my thing. I was very much like photos, like Instagram kind of
Yeah.
oriented. So I was like, oh, I don't know about recording videos. And then, I went down like a fit check spiral. Because I like clothes, I like fashion. So I was going through a bunch of menswear fit check videos, and like, oh, these are like 15 seconds to 20 seconds. They don't talk, which is talking in front of a camera is kind of like weird for me still. So,
Hmm.
um, but I'm like, oh, I could do this. So I just started posting like, oh, low effort fit check videos, like what you usually see on my TikTok, like me going to the work bathroom or setting up my like little collapsible stand in my office at the beginning of the day. I was like, hey, here's what I'm wearing. Now got to jump in this call. So it was very like low effort, like, hey, I can do this. And then like I put out some videos and like, oh, people seem to like this. So I just started posting more frequently, or
Hmm.
more consistently, I should say. I try to post like 2 or 3 times a week, and kind of just went from there.
Yeah, you're really consistent. That was I think the biggest thing for you is that like I've noticed, and this is just how the algorithm works for TikTok as well. There is a boost you receive if you post consistently, and the more often you're
Yes.
actually putting stuff out, the better. Now, there is also a factor of the quality of the content, if it's using a popular audio. There's many other little things that can happen, but the really big thing that I think a lot of people that are creators run into is that they'll make a few videos, they don't get the views they really want, and then they kind of give up or lose interest, and that's kind of what caused it to fail for themselves. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And I think for you, you hit a really good sweet spot because you were able to find a way to make very quick content. It looks great, like the quality is fantastic, and it's consistent. Like, I have seen your videos more often in my For You page than anyone else. And that is also why I wanted to contact you, because I was like, God, he really figured this out. So because I see you the most. You are the one, which I'm very happy for. But like I see you the most on my feed, and that's why I was like, God, you really and looking at it all, and also like the amount of clothes you must have are also insane to me because I have like 5 or 6 shirts at most. So like as I'm watching you, I'm like, I could never do that. I don't get any of the stuff that you got. But yeah, I really wanted to applaud you because as I work in the industry that handles models that do OnlyFans content and all this stuff, and a lot of that is like, oh, we have to remind these models to make consistent posts. That's a really big thing for them. So I just wanted to say you're doing a really good job. Like from an outsider who does this stuff as like a workplace thing. But yeah, so I just wanted to applaud you on that and just say that I love your content. Your fits are always great. You're so hot. You know this. I just have to gush. I'm so sorry. But like, also anyone, if you're watching this, if you're not a deviant or doesn't already follow him, follow his Blue Sky, follow his Twitter. They're mwah, mwah. I can't say it here on YouTube because I'll get in big trouble if I say it. But let me just tell you, it's real good stuff. If you like him clothes, you're gonna like him even more on his other pages.
Yeah, so, if you like fat dudes, Twitter and Blue Sky is the place to go. So
if you're here, you should. So like, you definitely should check out this person. So yeah, so that's how I first saw you. And I think to kind of go back to what your reasoning was and how you joined, I think I was in the same boat you're in. I think we're about the same age or the same age. I'm 34. I think you're also.
Yeah, no, I'm 35. So I just turned 35 in December. So.
Oh, okay. And I'm a January birthday. So we have a similar curse.
Yeah.
So
Christmas babies.
Yeah. But yeah, so what I was going to say originally is that I joined TikTok for the same reasons you did. During the pandemic, we were all crazy at home, and so I was like, well, I'm going to check this out. And I remember just fully working at one of my old jobs in a call center, just scrolling videos as I was in between no phone calls coming in because of course it was COVID. So, but yeah, I joined, but also I didn't have the foresight that you did to start posting. I just never thought about it as being something that I would want to do. And so I was super, super late to the game compared to you or other creators because I was like, oh, whatever, I can't post in there anyway. So I lurked for years, but I wish I'd gotten into it sooner. But I think you also figured out a lot quicker what works for you and what you wanted to do. And for anyone watching this, I would also invite them the same way, is even if you can't do not safe for work material on there, you can still do other stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be explicit. You know, I would definitely invite you to think about what else. Could it be a fit check? Could it be just day in the life content? I've been working on just random speaking videos, including, I guess, this, and they've had a great reaction, more than I ever thought possible, so I've been very thankful. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just happy you're here. I love what you do. But I did have another question about this as well.
Sure.
Because I have this problem quite a bit, and many creators I know also have the same issues. There is a matter of the content that's allowed, not allowed. I know that I know that for me personally, and I talked about in the previous episode of this podcast, is that I cannot show nipples. For whatever reason, I can show belly, I can show like the body shape, but if a nipple is shown, it gets immediately taken down. And I've appealed it before. Sometimes I'll come back if I'm lucky, but if anything with too much touch, too much nipple out, it's very sporadic and very weird. I know other creators don't have that problem, so I must have some weird like booby filter on my account that causes that to happen. I don't know. But yeah, that's been my experience so far with the app and kind of navigating around that. And I was curious what you've experienced, any content you've had that's been taken down, like what stuff do you have to kind of navigate around and not get in trouble for? And kind of what your experience is.
So, showing like being shirtless as a fat guy on TikTok, on Instagram, you run into the automated filter all the time. So I haven't had so much of an issue on TikTok. Surprising. So I have like 2 like shirtless videos ish on TikTok, and one was like, hey, I'm gonna do a shirtless video because everyone in my comments was asking for a shirtless video, and it was like right before the ban, so I didn't think TikTok was gonna be around. So I'm like, what the hell? Let's do it. That was still up, and it's one of my more popular videos on there. And I haven't run into an issue with that. And another one, like in both of them too, like I'm not touching my chest, I'm not like touching myself. I have the phone in front of me, I'm covering half my chest with my arm, doing a mirror video. So you don't see a whole lot. Where I've run into issues though is on Instagram. You know, beach, like being at the beach, or like walking videos and like I have a chest and it bounces when I walk. That got taken down. So I've run into more issues on Instagram, but admittedly, I don't post a whole lot of shirtless content on TikTok. You have to go to Twitter and Blue Sky for that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think something as banal as, a 15-second fit check video, you're not going to run into huge issues. I made some like thirstier content that's been flagged, and I've appealed it, and it's been fine. But yeah, to your point, I've seen a lot of other creators get their content taken down. Just existing as a plus size person, wearing what anyone else would be wearing for a thirst trap, and that is seen by the automated content moderation as too lewd
Yeah.
for the internet. So it's a struggle that a lot of bigger bodies, creators with bigger bodies face on social media, especially TikTok and especially Instagram.
Yeah, I'm always frustrated by it, and especially in my day job, we support a lot of usually conventionally attractive thinner women. So those never have problems.
Oh no,
no issue. It is only for us. It is, God forbid, where our boobies are out or we got a big belly jumping around. Like that's, oh my gosh. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that because I know that everyone has their own experiences and what they've kind of dealt with, because it definitely seems like everyone's algorithm and its filtering is a little bit different, and it's never consistent. It is the weirdest thing to me. Like on Instagram, if you get in trouble, at least in my experience, it may be different now, but generally I had stuff getting taken down that I deserved to have taken down. Like I was posting stupid shit on Instagram stories or whatnot, even if they were like in a private thing. And
in the close friend list.
Yeah, it'd be like, nope, okay, I should have seen that one coming. No DMs for a week, like, or whatever. And I remember my original Instagram account got banned because back in the day, in like 2016, 2015, they were a lot more lenient in what they allowed. They didn't really care as much, or they didn't really have as much. The AI filtering wasn't as it is now. And so on my old account, like the original The Bear Wannabe account, all of my older things got flagged at once, and then my account got banned. It was like 8-year-old photos, just nope. It was all taken down at once, and then it was so many strikes at once, it just killed the account, and I couldn't even bring it back. So that was, oh my god, I was so mad, and I didn't even use Instagram for years because I was like, I don't want to fuck that place. But yeah, now I'm back, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I cringe at the fact that it's Zuckerberg owned, for obvious like socioeconomic and political reasons. But it's where there's a lot of the bear community, a lot of the chub community, a lot of the gainer community exist in Instagram. So it's got a great community regardless of ownership. You won't catch me paying for like the verified check or anything like that. I basically just use Instagram these days to kind of mirror my fit checks that I post on TikTok. So
yeah, I mean, and like I said originally in the beginning of this, I would definitely invite you, if you're a creator looking to expand out or do more, do the more safe for work stuff. You don't have to be not safe for work with your content that you're actually working on. You can try to experiment. There's one creator that I'm helping with right now, like personally, and he is just getting situated, and he's definitely a bigger guy. He's like 500 plus pounds, and even certain belly content is just too much for its filters, and they'll get taken down. So it's a matter of, well, it's a brand new account. You don't have anything on it yet. Let's just post what you can post, and we'll just see what gets flagged, and then just don't do those anymore, because there's no consistent thing. And this person is not even doing anything explicit. They're just yawning with the belly showing. They're just plopping it out of their shirt. It's nothing, to me, explicit in terms of like just straight up pornography. You're not
like what was the the trend the straights were doing for a while. Was it like yogurt in the hair trend or whatever, where like
Oh my
straight creators
god.
were posting full on like schlong
Oh,
on like TikTok with like a weird inverted filter, and their posts would stay up for like days, weeks.
I have a
And
story. Oh my god.
someone who's like fat takes off their shirt and that's immediately taken down. Like
Yeah.
there's absolutely no consistency, there's no rhyme or reason to why things get flagged or taken down. Um, but yeah, you seem like you have a
Oh my
story.
god. Okay, I completely forgot about this. In complete honesty. Um, oh my god. Okay, so when I started my job working for OnlyFans models and supporting them as like an agency, um, part of my job was to do TikTok research, Instagram research, finding competitors, just finding their niche. You know, if it's more of a gothy girl, let's find more content we can use to kind of give her inspiration. What popular audios are they using right now? Just basic stuff. So to do that, because I didn't want my TikTok to go crazy, I just made a new burner TikTok account with my work email just to kind of build it out. I was on straight TikTok for about 3 days. I saw straight up just porking. Like, I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding. I'm not like, not even like, oh, ha ha ha, like filter. No, like it was scenes from movies, like sex scenes from movies. It was people flashing, a lot of girls flashing. It'd be like a girl sitting like with her legs crossed, like at the camera, and then she'd like move a leg and she's wearing shorts. And you can see inside the shorts and you just see one lip and you're like, oh my God. And that's fine. 500,000 views. That's fine. Go right ahead, girl. And like, yeah, I'm proud of her, but like, what the hell? That's not fair. And then I've seen, it's called Tip Talk, by the way, when you get
Is it?
when you get flashed by dicks on TikTok. That's what it's called. It's called Tip Talk.
TikTok.
But yeah, I have seen fully explicit stuff, and I remember I was doing it for research, and my husband was home, and I went, "Will you look at this?" And I'm just, because this is in the browser on my computer, and I'm just scrolling, and it is just explicit video after explicit video, and I wasn't doing that much stuff to try and find them. I was just trying to find like straight girl thirst traps, and I was flooded with these. It was nuts. And then, God forbid, over here we show a belly or just be shirtless. You know, that was like, what the hell? Like that, oh my God. And that's just obviously what it's like for queer people versus straight people, and that's just the way it's always been. But oh my God,
Yeah, exactly.
it was because I thought it was even across the board. I really thought like everyone deals with this and everyone has their own limitations, but we clearly have more. We clearly have more
No,
problems.
you come under much more scrutiny if you tag your videos to target like an LGBT or queer audience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same everywhere. You know, the straights get away with stuff that we would never imagine doing on platforms like TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's a fact of life that you kind of have to, if you want to create content, you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you know, you have a certain amount of reach on to post not for safe content on, you know, Twitter and Blue Sky. But if you want to like break into like more the apps that your friends are using, you have to be very careful on learning what the limitations of your specific algorithm is. You know, if you get something taken down, don't try it again. I recommend you know scaling back. Like the one post, like I was like touching my chest and stuff. So like now when I'm shirtless on TikTok, like I'm not touching my chest or my belly. I'm just like,
it's a good
there
Christian.
With the camera. I'm like,
it's a good Christian. There's no touch. There's no
exactly
no touching till marriage.
I mean, if you want to see touching, there are places to post that. But unfortunately for queer plus size men, TikTok and Instagram is not that place.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about that too, and in terms of moving from one to the other. In your experience doing all this stuff on TikTok and Instagram, have you seen, since doing that, a higher engagement or turnover for people going into OnlyFans for you?
Yeah, I definitely. So a a lot of friends that I have, like local friends in the Boston area, you know, they were moderately successful on. I mean, I a lot of my friends are whores, as am I. So, very sex positive,
Yeah.
like friend group, and you know, definitely had a lot of folks that I know, you know, were moderately successful on, you know, Instagram or Twitter, and then it's like, hey, I enjoy doing this. I can get paid for it. People will pay for this content, and they make the jump over to OnlyFans, and you know, have been really successful. So I think that's the definitely the net positive of sites like OnlyFans or Just for Fans. Um, you get a lot more, you get a lot more porn of your friends. You pay the $4.99, $5.99 a month, and you know, you get some pretty hot stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes like breaking into like the adult industry, to get paid for it. The bar is a whole lot lower. You don't have to, you know, know
Yeah.
the creator of Bear Films and hit him up hit him up on Twitter, or you know, fill out the application form on a website to actually make content.
Yeah.
It was like, get verified, hook up with some friends, put it on camera, and you know, if you have an audience on, you know, especially Twitter and Blue Sky, you know, a lot of those followers will pay money to see that content. So,
Yeah.
a few extra bucks a month.
What a good promo. Look at that. Look at that. Look at us go. Look at us go. And if you want to see a freak do stuff by himself, you can subscribe to mine. Yeah. Which I'm glad that it's bringing over stuff for you, because I think sometimes when someone is first starting out as being a creator and they're not seeing an immediate return on their time, they're definitely like, oh, it's not going to work. I'm giving up. Whatever. I don't care anymore. But it's really a matter of consistency. It's really a matter of actually like trying. It is a job. And I think going back again to the pandemic, a lot of people I knew wanted to be on OnlyFans. A lot of them tried. They were like, well, I can make money just getting naked online. I want to do that. It's not that easy. It's really not. You have to really work on it.
There's a whole aspect of, like, you know, creating the content is one thing.
Yeah.
And yes, that is super fun. Like, I've been in some friends' OnlyFans videos, and it's a lot of fun to shoot. But there's a whole side of, it's basically a marketing job.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
whether full-time or part-time, you have to market your shit in order for people to know that it exists.
Hello, my camera overheated. Back to the conversation. Anyway, we were talking while I put a fan in front of my camera to cool it. We were talking about studio porn, and how you were saying that we've kind of moved away from it, and I think the necessity of it's no longer needed. A lot, and he was saying this when my camera was whatever. You know, iPhones and equipment we have just at home are comparable to this high-end equipment that's now available that a lot of studios still employ. And the benefit of having it done by a creator is that it's usually with their friends, people they care about, a partner. There's so much more possibility for intimacy and like chemistry compared to just like you two get together and fuck on a chair. So anyway, you were talking before we started recording again, you were talking about your favorite setups or like your favorite like just dumb things. I would love to hear you continue on that, please, because I would love to hear that.
Yeah. So I was going on this diatribe on like the inauthenticity of studio porn. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are studio scenes that are very hot that I jerk off to this day. However, like what really killed it for me, or what OnlyFans and Just for Fans creator do better, is like the whole story-driven scene, like the pretend cruising scenes that a lot of studio creators
oh
would
my
do.
God, yeah.
They're just
I love the
bad.
fake public play and the fake like glory holes of like, oh, I just happen to have found this place in this beautifully lit studio room where I can tell they put it together the previous day. Yeah.
Or like oh, I'm at the Eagle in New York during the day. I rented out like the floor, and I'm
Oh
shooting at
my
the eagle.
god.
I like great, get the aesthetic, but who are you fooling, really?
What are we doing here? Yeah, that's yeah, and I think that is, but as a creator, this is just speaking personally, I don't consume that content to like get off to it, but I love it aesthetically. I love looking at it because it's so funny to me. Like I have an older VHS camera that I use occasionally for content, and I fully done one of those like fake interview things. I recorded myself on my phone asking questions in like a falsetto low girly voice, and then I had myself in my straight Sona on the couch answering the questions. And he was like, "So, what's your name? What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm Greg." So, you want to take off your shirt? And like, I fully, it was so fun. I don't think any,
for yeah.
I got
For
so
me,
many
like,
compliments. That was so fun.
I need to find that. I do subscribe to your OnlyFans, so I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
do you?
like
Oh my
search
god.
for that. I do. So just throwing that out there.
Wait, hang on.
But I'm gonna need to find that.
Hang on.
Because like there is porn that you consume to get off to, and then there's porn that you consume for the camp of it all.
Yeah.
Like, and those interview scenes, or like, what was it? It was Broke Straight Boys, like way
Bait
back
bus.
when
Bait bus. Bait
yeah,
bus.
when it was very like,
what if my girlfriend finds out I'm in here? They won't.
exactly.
She
Meanwhile,
won't know.
30 seconds later, I've never been fucked by a guy taking like a 10-inch dick.
You
like
are cleaned out, taking it like a pro, and you're
Exactly.
loving it. You're going, oh, you are. Yeah, that is also like, mwah, that's so good. Like, there's a level of like disconnect you have to have with that stuff, and
Sure.
the disconnect for me is not enough to like jerk off to it, but I will love looking at it because it's so funny. And I also love I love the early 90s, late 80s aesthetic of porn too, where they try to make them actors, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of them became memes. I love them so much. There was one that a friend sent me, just like out of context, just a clip of the acting, and it was like a Confederate soldier, a Union soldier, and Native American man, and they're like on a set, and I think the Confederate soldier's in the ground, like tied up, like he's been captured, and the Union soldier's like, "So now that we got you, what do you think we're gonna do to you?" And the guy was like, "You gonna kill me?" And he goes, "No." And then the Native American guy walks in, who wasn't actually Native American, just a white guy, and was like, "I have an idea." And they just look at each other, and then the camera zooms into his eye, and then goes out of frame like it's a dream sequence. And then the video I was sent cut, but you know what happens after that cut. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
I love stuff like that. I love the aesthetic of like a VHS tape you hid under your bed that you're too afraid for your parents to find out, and you have that, and you're like, and you have that in, and you're watching, and it's like falling apart, and it's all fuzzy and shitty. Oh, love it. Sorry, that's just. I just love.
No, I mean, like I said, it's like there. I don't know how to describe it other than like artsy camp.
It's camp, yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's like you've seen John Waters, and it's very much that vibe where you have, like with any form of film media, you have to have a little suspense of disbelief in order to like get into it. But and for me, like the threshold for camp is so much higher, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
And the same for like studio porn, especially studio porn of like the early, like mid to early 90s and like late 80s, where
that's
it's
all there was. Yeah, that's all that we had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like finding my so I have not an uncle, but my mom's best friend when I was growing up. He was gay. House in Truro, right next to P-Town, very like affluent, like old money New England kind of gay. And I remember my dad was helping him do some contracting work on like a house that he was flipping or whatever. And he had some storage in there, and I found his they were promotional flyers for a club night in P-Town, and then a VHS tape of, I think it was like old like Auntie Bob from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like where Michael McQuaid like first did his first videos when he was like our age.
Yeah. Oh my god!
I remember like watching
every synapse
in
in your brain
just in the morning,
just exploding.
Yeah, because we all live the same life apparently. Yeah. I remember seeing that, like, oh, this is the thing, gonna be a thing for me.
This is gonna be a problem. Yeah, for me, mine is mostly on the internet, and so a lot of stuff I found, which is just ripped and stolen DVDs, or not even DVD, like VHS rips of videos, and it'd be like a shitty GeoCities site with just these 10-second GIFs of like 3 frames per second of just over and over and over, and I was just enamored. I was like, oh my god, whoa. And then I remember sometimes it'd have video downloads, and it'd be like a real player video, and it would be like a 15-second clip of just nothing with the video like this tiny, and you're just watching it like all the way full screen pixelated, just and that is an era of like content I really miss, which we'll probably never have again with the way things are now, but that is such a fun aesthetic, and I wish I saw more often in people. But obviously it's not always, it's more camp than it is horny, you know. Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you on that perspective. And I mean, one of the, like anything new in the world, the proliferation of like Just for Fans or OnlyFans makes, yes, good porn more accessible, porn of your friends, porn of like people you're fans of on the internet, whatever. But then there's like, you're making content to, you're a means to an end in that kind of perspective. Like, you watch some of these documentaries of like old like porn producers like from the 90s, and like people thought it was art, and you know, there was
a studio budget
expectation
behind it.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna make this 5-minute video of me fucking my friend to, you know, make $5 and like get some notoriety on the internet. You know what I mean?
We need to package this together as a DVD set or a VHS set that's being sold physically in stores and has to be appealing. You know, like I don't think we're gonna ever see that again, unfortunately.
Oh,
like,
no.
At least not in the way it exists then. You know, it's much different now.
You know, we're gentlemen of a certain age, so we lived through the digital revolution, when, you know, back when, you know, X2 was like new and exciting. It was like, oh, homemade,
all stolen
video,
all stolen content.
All stolen content. No one was really posting their own shit there, except for like a few people, but it was just like, having that access to porn was like, it was a whole lot different from when we were like seniors in high school, or you know, freshmen in college, you know, going to the local like video arcade and, you know, buying like a $30 like 3.5 hour like porn
fest
with
Saga.
Exactly. It's just like 3.5 hours of like scene after scene.
That too. That's something else that I don't even now, like, logically I understand it, but my brain is so not wired for that anymore. Like, if it's like a 90-minute video, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like skip until I find something I like, and then just watch it, and then in a few minutes be done, and then just close the video. Like, it doesn't need to be that long. but again, it's also rewatchability, the value of that, and the cost of filming and getting people versus like what you're outputting. So yeah, it all makes sense. But yeah, that's a really wide tangent we just went on, but I love discussing this stuff. It's such a fun taboo thing to talk about. So any case, next time if we ever meet, I'm gonna bust out my VHS camera, and we're gonna be like POV, your two your two gay neighbor
Yes.
your two gay neighbor uncles that aren't actually your uncle, but we're gonna say uncle, are like watching you undress as you get home from college or something stupid. Fully just and then we're both wearing a floral shirt, shoulder to shoulders, looking into the camera, giving the most wooden lines possible, and that's what we're gonna do.
Amazing. And it will sell like hotcakes.
In all the DVD stores we can sell it to.
Exactly.
Oh my god. But I think that's a good place to stop for now. Thank you so much for being here with me today. That was so much fun, including the camera overheating. We're going to deal with that in editing, I guess. But thank you. It was awesome having you. And again, please give him a follow if you don't already. If you probably already do. Just to clarify, TikTok.com, CubPun, Instagram.com/chubbyhedonist, and then X.com, CubPun, and then Blue Sky, Chubby Hedonist as well. So please follow him. He's extremely hot, and if you're only watching him on TikTok, you're missing like all the really nudie good stuff. So please. But any case, thank you for watching. Is there anything you wanted to plug or anything you want to mention before we ended this?
No, I just wanted to thank you for having me on and to chat with you. I mean, like I mentioned when we before we started recording, like I remember finding one of your ArcDad videos on TikTok. I'm like, I need to find this man's other social medias. So when you reached out to do this, I was stoked and so happy that we could find the time to make this work.
Thank you. I'm really happy. And yeah, I felt the same way, but I didn't say it in the recording, but I had followed him on Twitter at some point and then kind of forgot, and then saw him on TikTok, and I was like, he looks familiar. And then randomly I found you again on Twitter, and I was like, oh, that's him. Oh man. Oh, it's everything I wanted more. Because I think what confused me is I think you said in your TikTok this is your only account. And so I thought like, oh, he must not have Twitter or anything, which is a shame. And then I was I was like, oh, he does. He lied to us. Yeah.
No, that was someone was like last year someone was downloading and reposting my videos pretending to be me. So
that's
I had to do that to make sure. Yeah, that was like the first time that had ever happened to me, and it was very weird. I was like, I don't want other people out there pretending to be me.
I had someone who's a subscriber
weird.
to OnlyFans. They subbed to my OF, and she was a trans girl. Love her. She's still a friend of mine. And she was like, yeah, I thought I talked to you for about a year once. And I was like, I don't remember us talking. And she goes, oh no, it wasn't you. It was a guy in Dubai who was pretending to be you online on Instagram for at least... She talked to him for about a year, but she knew of him before that point, who just stolen all my stuff. And I was like, oh, great, thanks for telling me. She was very cool about it, but she was like, yeah, I thought I was talking to you for like a year. And I was like, oh, that was not me, girl, but I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Don't catfish, kids. It's not cool.
Don't do it. Don't do that. Just don't. Any case, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your week if you're watching this, or a weekend if it's Friday. Dad loves you. Your other dad probably loves you too. So you got two dads now. And have a great one.
All right. Bye.